Hello everyone, it's day 90. I had a lot going on today. First start my day, I added the Talk to Do app to my personal portfolio. Um, and then I also tweaked my portfolio and I went and followed along with like some suggestions that his at name on Twitter is Shashi Who Codes, Shashi Who Codes. Every Friday, his time, which is usually Thursday if you're like Thursday night if you're in the US. He does portfolio reviews. You just send a link to your portfolio, and usually the weekend or like sometime earlier in the next week, he'll respond. I just expected him to like limit it to one, whatever would fit in one tweet or whatever. But he actually sent me like 5 tweets, like add this, delete this, that kind of stuff. It was really good feedback or whatever. So I saved all those tweets, and then when I added that project or whatever, I just went ahead and made a couple tweaks or whatever. Couple things I did. He told me to take my like LinkedIn, GitHub, CodePen links at the bottom, all the way like right above the footer, put it above the fold. So I added that on the side. I've seen like some template websites do it where they have like the social media links like vertically on the side of the page. And then when it switches to mobile view, it moves from the side to at the bottom of the page, but it's still above the fold on the, like it's, the hero section is 100 view height. So it's still like, as soon as the website loads, it's on the first page or whatever. I added a custom scroll bar. So I didn't like that the scroll bar was gray, like that drab gray color. Like my site is like that really, really, really dark gray, almost black. And then like that teal color, the accent color. So I added a teal scroll bar with the black track. And then I put a white outline around it. And then I gave it a border radius so that it's rounded, just because all my buttons are rounded. So it kind of like made everything kind of mesh together. And then what else did I do? Oh, I made my, in my about section, I didn't like how, just because I don't have a lot of text for my about me, I didn't like that it went halfway to the screen, because it just made it look awkward or whatever. So what I did was I changed the width. I think I used a percentage so that it only took up like 50% or 75% of the available space, like in that div. So now like it's more lines of text. It just looks, it's shorter, and so it's just so much easier to read. Another guy, Sakib Shalon at SAKIBSHALON. Sorry if I'm pronouncing all these Twitter names wrong, but sorry. I had posted the update of my portfolio, just anybody wanted to look at it, and he actually looked at it and he gave me some good feedback. He noticed that on the mobile view, my nav bar, like it was right on the edge almost, which I guess I didn't pay attention. I edited, like I kept like toggling between mobile view on the computer, but as you know, like it's different than when you actually look at it on an actual phone or whatever. But yeah, all I did, I just forgot to add, I think align items center to vertically center it or whatever, because it was pushed to the top, and then that added like the proper space all the way around, so it didn't look squished to the top. And then in my original contact form, I had that teal color, but he was like, it probably look better being white, which I agree. Like it kind of, once I like typed in it and saw that black text, it just, I don't know, looked a little tacky. And then it was just too overpowering or whatever. It's like the white was more subtle, which actually made it an off-white color. So it's not completely white. And then to complement that, the button was white, since the background of the text area and like the input labels were teal. I made the button teal. It's like to give that little bit of pop with black text. And I got rid of the border of the button. And then I decided it looked weird to have the button rounded, and then the input and the text area, they had that harsh corner. So I gave it like an extreme border radius, and I think now it looks like a little more, unique, and it just meshes together a whole lot better based on what everything else looks like on my site. Another problem that Sashi pointed out to me, in my form, I gave it a height of 100%. And I had changed something along the lines. And I never looked at my portfolio like when I made like the final changes, the last time I made my commit or whatever, on my phone to see what it looked like. So I didn't know. But like when you scrolled, the buttons, I changed the way I made the buttons 2x2 because I actually now have 4 buttons that you can add in the project section. So view live site, view the GitHub repository, view the video demo, and then view the Lighthouse report. So yeah, I made it 2x2 because it made the buttons too small to have them all in line. So when I did that, it made like each button take up like the button container take up like 100% of the view height. So it just scrolled and they were just kind of like floating and looked all weird. So I fixed that and like now it's perfect to me. So I mean, I like it. Another thing I learned is if you check your Lighthouse score for your website, it's like 3 little dots at the very top. Once you've generated the report, you can actually save your report as HTML. So what I did was I saved it as HTML and then I added that HTML to the same folder that my website is. And I made the link to my Lighthouse button that I added inside my project section to take me to the HTML of that report. So like anybody looking at my portfolio, when they click the Lighthouse button, like it takes them to an HTML page with my Lighthouse report score. So rather than having like, because I had took a screenshot of it, but you really couldn't like browse the whole thing. So now they can just look at the whole thing or whatever. So I thought that was neat. And then I committed it to GitHub just to make sure that it didn't only work locally, and it works on GitHub too. So that was a plus. All right, after that, I applied for 4 jobs actually. 2 were for junior web developer. The other one was junior front-end developer, and the other one was just a front-end developer. But I mean, as far as like the job description, they all were kind of about the same: HTML, CSS, JavaScript. I kind of stuck to job descriptions that pretty much said that. If something said like React or all that stuff that I haven't learned yet, I didn't really go for it just because I don't know that yet. I plan to eventually, but you know, I'm just kind of stick to what based on my knowledge right now. So I don't know, that's my strategy. But yeah, so compared to that first time I applied to that one job, it was a whole lot different experience just because I kind of did that like on impulse, on a whim. So my portfolio wasn't done. So all I could give them was a resume with my projects listed and a link to the live site of my projects, but it's not the same as like putting it together in a package with the portfolio link. So I had that to update my resume again, and I wrote a cover letter. So like I had all that this time around, plus a portfolio and 2 projects on my portfolio. And mind you, one of my projects isn't completely done. However, I put that it's in progress. However, you can see what I'm working on so far, like what I'm capable of doing. But the Talk to Do app is complete, and I think it's pretty cool. So I actually put that app as my #1 app for now. As I learn more, it's probably not going to stay #1 just because it's not all that complex. It's neat, but you know, I feel like I could top it. But yeah. So moving on to new things, I went back to John Smilga's JavaScript Udemy course. I think it's called JavaScript Projects and Tutorial Course, something like that. And I picked up where I left off, the section on asynchronous programming. So it was like 1 hour and 40 minutes. So I watched all those videos and did like the exercises right along with them. He had like really good examples to break it down. So he went over promises, try catch, what else? And async await. And then I went back to the Odin project and just did the one lesson. I didn't finish it because it gave you like videos and articles to read. And it's after midnight, so I'm going to finish watching the videos tomorrow. But yeah, that lesson was on asynchronous code. So what I'm probably going to keep doing is do everything in line. So like as I do something in my Udemy course, I do something in the Odin project, and that kind of works together, because like a lot of the examples and articles that top gives you, if that's the only resource that I had, I wouldn't understand nearly as much stuff if I had as I do now if it wasn't for Udemy, YouTube, and other resources. So like I kind of like to use a collective of things. But yeah, overall great day. Had a lot going on. I was proud I put in some job applications. Just, hey, at this point, shoot my shot, see what happens. I don't know, as far as just HTML, CSS, and JavaScript, like, throw me a coding project, like, I'm pretty sure I can make something happen. So, but yeah, of course, after I finish asynchronous programming, the next step is to learn React, which every job posting pretty much lists React. Very few don't list React or whatever. So, but yeah, for now, I'm sticking to where I'm at right now and just see what happens. So, overall, good day. Day 90. I got 10 days left before I get to 100.